Good afternoon, students. Previous session we started to learn about what makes India a federal country. What makes India a federal country? So, dear students, we all of knows that. So, in India, the powers of the respective government. So, it is clearly mentioned in the Constitution. So, actually, dear students, so the union government and the state government and between these state government, so the constitution makes the power, divides the power and the responsibilities in a different list, which used to call as a union list and state list and concurrent list. So let us discuss about union list. Union list. See, dear students, the union list, it includes subjects of national importance. Understood now? So it is actually subjects of national interest. So we all of you knows that the union government or central government is there for whole country. This is the government for the entire country, not to fix for any particular region or province. So that's what it's used to called as a central government or the state, the union government. See, it is a government for the whole country. We used to call it the government of India. Here, dear students, so the subjects of national importance that goes to the union list, especially defense of the country, defense and it's one of the most important. So please keep it in your mind. So defense is there no, that's completely so left to central government to take any decisions or to make any changes or whatever the policy or guidelines that should go through only the union government. And also, dear students, so foreign affairs. So foreign affairs means how the relationship maintained with the other countries of the world. ಸೊ ವಿದೇಶಗಳ ಜೊತೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯ ಬಾಂಧವ್ಯವನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಬೇಕು ರಿಗಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ವ್ಯಾಪಾರ ವಾಣಿಜ್ಯ ಸಾರಿಗೆ ಸಂಪರ್ಕ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ರಿಲೇಶನ್ಶಿಪ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ the other countries of the world. So it is also goes under the union list. This is the responsibility of the central government to maintain the good relationship with other countries of the world. And also, dear students, banking. So banking also that is completely under the central government and communication. Banking and communication and also currency also. Banking, communication, currency. Okay, currency means what we are using in our daily life. See here, they are included in this list because we need a uniform policy on these matters throughout the country. ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕರೆನ್ಸಿ ತಮಿಳುನಾಡಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕರೆನ್ಸಿ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಿಚಾರ ಮಾಡಿ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ರಿಗಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ if suppose if the state governments are going to be interfere in these subjects the result is very different and even this creates a lot of conflicts and disputes between central government versus state governments. And what is the role of the central government being a government of or the representative of the whole country? It is ದೇಶದ ಒಂದು ಸರ್ಕಾರವಾಗಿ ಸೊ ಅದರ ಒಂದು ಪಾತ್ರ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ. So that's what, dear students. So these are some of the most important subjects that so goes or to union list. See here, the union government alone can take, and even the union government regarding all these things alone can make laws relating to the subjects. ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್ ನಾವು. ಸೊ ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ವಿಚಾರಗಳಿಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ ಹಾಗೆ ಸೊ ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಸೊ ತನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಹಿಡಿತವನ್ನ ಅಥವಾ ಈ ವಿಚಾರಗಳಿಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ ಹಾಗೆ ಸೊ ಯಾವುದೇ ಬದಲಾವಣೆಗಳನ್ನ, ಕಾನೂನುಗಳನ್ನ, ಕಾಯ್ದೆಗಳನ್ನ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ಜಾರಿಗೆ ತರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಅಧಿಕಾರ ಸೊ ಇದು ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ಯೂನಿಯನ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ವಾಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್? See, dear students, this is actually state list means on which subjects the state governments are completely authority to make any law or to bring or to change, so the supreme. So here the state list contains subjects of state and local importance, while the union government or union list that gives a lot of importance to the national level or national importance. So the state list contains subject of state and subjects of state and local importance. State and local importance. So dear students, so what are the state and local importance which are actually given to the state governments, such as police? So we have to know that so the different states are having their own police system to maintain the peace and law in the society. Karnataka police, Tamil Nadu police, like that. So each state having their own police system. And also, dear students, trade, commerce, understood now? Trade, commerce, agriculture, and even the irrigation, agriculture, irrigation, and so on so forth. And also, dear students, so please once again I would like to repeat, the state government has the different subjects, so which are specially gives a lot of importance especially to the state or local, such as police, trade, commerce, agriculture, and irrigation. See here, the state governments, forest, trade unions, marriage, adoption, and succession. See here, both the union as well as the state governments can make laws on the subjects mentioned in this list. So here, they can make both the union government and as well as the state government. That used to called as a concurrent list regarding forest, trade unions, marriage, adoption, and succession. So regarding these subjects, the union and as well as state governments can make the laws. See, what about subjects that do not fall in any of three lists, or subjects like computer software and the recent the technology? And according to our constitution, the union government has the power to legislate on these residuary subjects. Some of the subjects are reserved, such as computer software, and the recent the innovations or the technologies after the formation of the constitutions. So whatever the development taken place in technological field or even the in science and so on so things etc, and those subjects are actually used to called as residuary subjects. See, dear students, so these residuary subjects actually, after the formation of the constitutions, which added or which those time, I mean the during that time, they ought not be aware about. I can say like that also. So those are considered like this, especially the union government has the power to legislate on those subjects, and those subjects are used to called as a residuary subjects. See, we noted about that most federations that are formed by holding together and do not give equal powers to its constituent units. So in the holding together federation, so each state has a different power. So there we cannot see the equal distribution of the power. So thus, all states in the Indian Union do not have identical powers. Some states enjoys a special status. Are you getting now? So some of the states enjoy a special status, for example, Assam, Nagaland, Arunachal Pradesh, and Mizoram. So here in Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, and Nagaland, the people, even in Mizoram also, people they were enjoying some of the special powers under the certain provisions of the Constitution of India according to Article 371. So, Bharata Samvidhana, the Article 371 provided a special provision for some of these states to enjoy some of the special status. See, dear students, why the Constitution provided some of the special status or to enjoy some of the special provision for these? So, actually, due to their peculiar social and historical circumstances. So, due to their peculiar historical and social circumstances, the Constitution itself provided a special provision of the powers to enjoy in those regions. So that is according to Article 371. See, these special powers are especially enjoyed in relation to the protection of land rights of indigenous people, their culture, and also preferential employment in government services. Of course, dear students, we all of you knows that. So the Jammu and Kashmir, the state, which has enjoyed a special rights, you all of you knows that. So in the same, which is actually which was provided by the Constitution of India, now it's removed, and Jammu and Kashmir divided, and then it's lost its state status, and now it's considered as a union territories. Got it, dear students? So here, Indians who are not permanent residents of this state cannot buy land or house here. So in those states, so yaru only, especially who are not permanent residents of that respective states, so others they cannot buy and even any kind of property or house or land etc etc. So similarly, special provision exists for some other states of India as well. Dear students. So there are some units of the Indian unions which enjoy a very little power. So these are areas which are too small to become an independent state, but which could not be merged with any of the existing states. ಸೊ ಅವುಗಳನ್ನ ಒಂದು ರಾಜ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಘೋಷಣೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಬಹಳ ಪುಟ್ಟ ಪುಟ್ಟ, ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಅವು ಯಾವ ರಾಜ್ಯಗಳ ಜೊತೆ ಅವುಗಳನ್ನ ಸೇರಿಸಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರದೇಶಗಳು ಸಹ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳ. ದಟ್ ವಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಆಸ್ ಎ ಯೂನಿಯನ್ ಟೆರಿಟರೀಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಕೇಂದ್ರಾಡಳಿತ ಪ್ರದೇಶಗಳು ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳ. Are you getting, dear students? So state but which could not be merged also and with any of the existing states, and even so to enjoin or to declare as a state also independent state very small, too small. For example, dear students, Chandigarh, Lakshadweep, and even the Delhi also, and recently Ladakh, Jammu and Kashmir area. So these are all actually considered as a union territories. So before there are 7 union territories. Now presently there are 9 union territories. Here, dear students, so these union territories do not have powers of a state, and the central government has special powers in running these areas. Got it now? So these union territories, so they do not have powers of a state, and the central government has special powers in running these areas. See, this sharing of a power between the union government and the state government is basic to the structure of the constitution. It is not easy to make changes to this power sharing arrangement. The parliament cannot on its own change this arrangement. Any change to it has to be first passed by the both the houses of parliament, such as Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Understood now? Then afterwards, then it has to be ratified by the legislatures of at least half of the total states. Then only it's possible. And dear students, the judiciary plays an important role in overseeing the implementation of constitutional provisions and procedures. The role of the constitution is very much important while implementing all these things. So in case of any disputes about the division of powers, for example, there are high courts and the Supreme Court. The High Court and Supreme Court can make a decisions if there is a conflicts, if there is a disputes versus one state versus another state, or state versus union territories, or state government versus central government, or central government versus state government. So if it is there any confusion or any conflicts, any disputes regarding their powers, so the High Court and Supreme Court interfere, and they are going to decide based on the constitution. So the union and state governments have the power to raise resources by levying taxes in order to carry on the government and the responsibility assigned to each of them. So everything is very clear by the constitution. So in this way, dear students, so in India, especially the powers of the government and the responsibilities on which subjects completely belongs to which government, that's all very clearly mentioned. That is about union list and state list and concurrent list, and also that's used to call as a residuary subjects also. So here the powers of the government, the limitations of the government, so completely defined by the constitution. So since, dear students, India is one of the union of states, which is the best example for the holding together federation, and here we can see the three level or tiers of the government. It means government at different level, state, central, and recently 1990-1991, the Panchayat Raj system also introduced, which is well known as a local self-government. So in this way, so the constitution and as well as the government powers, so within their limits they are exercising, and this makes India a successful federal country. Now, the next class we are going to learn about how is federalism practiced in our country. How is federalism practiced in our country? Regarding this, we are going to learn in the next class. Thank you. Have a nice day.